Hello and welcome back. Tonight on the bench we have a Colt Mark IV Series 70 government model. Now this pistol right here is a pretty interesting one. This is direct from the Colt factory archives. It was purchased for the collection just a few years ago. And what makes this pistol so unique is it is part of the evolutionary step that was taken to get to the Series 80. This pistol right here has an experimental firing pin safety in it. And so we actually have a Series 70 that has the firing pin safety, but not the correct one that they ended up with that actually went into production. So this pistol here has some interesting modifications, and it'll take me a few minutes. I'm going to take it apart and we're going to see how we get from a Series 70 with no firing pin safety to the Series 80, or I should say one of the steps along the way on how we got from the Series 70 to the Series 80. So I'm going to take a few minutes here and I'm going to strip both of these all the way down to the frames so we can see the internal parts, take a good look at how they differ, and I'll also grab the skeletonized Series 80 that we have to help illustrate how all this works. And one of the things that we're thinking at Colts when they made the firing pin safety. Alright, hey, give me a minute. I'm going to take and strip these down and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are at the bench with both the pistols disassembled now, and I've brought out the skeletonized Series 80 so we can give you a little bit better idea of what's going on here. Now what we've got here is, I'm going to go ahead and just set these two pieces up so we can have those in the correct orientation. And these are basically the way our firing pin safety goes together in the pistol. Now what we've got going on here, I'm going to go ahead and pick this up so we can get a good look here. We've got the sear pin here, and then we have the hammer pin here. Now the sear pin has, of course, this piece right here, and then the hammer pin has this piece right here. Now this one has a little bit of it removed to complete the skeletonization, so you can see actually the notches in the hammer down here. So this looks a little bit different. But what we have here is this piece right here, and as this works, you can see with the grip safety engaged, you can see how that goes up and down now and gets all the way up into here to where we have the actual piece that blocks the firing pin, which of course is this piece right here. And this has the spring that goes in the top part of it here, so that's the orientation is correct. And then, so that's how those work on two different pivot points. Just pretty simple. One more time here. Just engage like this, and as this one goes, it turns it up or pushes it up as they rotate around their axis. Okay, I'll go ahead and grab our other one now, or excuse me, the Seer Assembly and our prototype here. Now you can see why this prototype wasn't adopted. We got here, we have of course our sear here, and then we have the disconnect, and then we have our two pieces. And we'll go ahead and grab these real quick so you can see the piece with its counterpart and perhaps get a little idea of the evolution of these. Now this piece, these two fit together like this actually, since they're mounted on the same piece. And then this piece here are of course mounted on the two different places, the sear pin and the hammer pin. So there we go with those two, and then we'll go ahead and just show you how it looks here on the sear. I have to excuse me, I'm fighting a cold tonight. And go ahead and put this one goes in first, then this one here. And the way this works is as it's in the pistol, this of course, as the trigger bow comes back and engages, we have this piece push up. See if we can get it to work here a little bit. There you go. Just that pushes up and engages the firing pin. So as you can see, this is on one axis. And it looks to me, in my humble opinion, that this could have potential hang-ups being on this same axis, and then this space here, I don't know, grit get in there, sand get in there, something get in there that would keep this from actually mechanically working. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on and take a look at the firing pin, just the a few differences between the few. Now here's our prototype piece. It's been flattened on one side to allow this piece to engage, and then let's see here if I can get this orientation correct, and then how that would make it not engage and then be able to engage. And then we have our two different firing pins. You can see quite a bit of difference between the prototype and then the finished manufactured product. Okay, now we'll go ahead and take a real quick look here at our frame. Now this was of course a Series 70 frame as it started its life, and you can see the parts that were not worked with that still have the finish on them, and then you can see where the metal was removed. Of course, it took the finish and we have bare metal now, and you can see they took this right hand side of the frame and they got down in here and widened it out so this assembly would fit in there. Then of course we had to add a hole up here where the firing pin stop was disengaged at, and then you can see down here to the disconnector hole they stopped right about here, and then they removed this material along here too. And then we'll go ahead and we'll just take a quick look at the two slides, and you can see the difference between the two slides. Of course the firing pin block has a larger hole, of course, on our prototype as opposed to the finished manufactured product, and that's pretty much it. So there you go. That's a quick look at one of the prototype models that was used to make our Series 80 firing pin stop. Love it or hate it, that's the way it was, one of the ways it was developed. Of course, that's not the finalized design, but just you can see some of the things that were going on, what they were working with, how they were trying to design this, and just a brief look at a prototype Colt Series 70. Alright, hey, thanks for tuning in and watching, and I hope you enjoyed this short video. Have a great day.